So first thing to do is get some oil on our client. So it's our usual protocol. So a little bit of a diamond effleurage. So now we're literally following the fibres of the trapezius. And then down the side of the lat a little bit. Just need to put a little bit more on. That's great. Just running it just out onto the shoulders a little bit because I will hit into them a little bit as well. Okay, and then from there we're going to go into our reinforced effleurage still. Okay, so I'm going to work one side only, come out, cross over, up the other side. So there's a little bit more force going on to what we were doing on our diamond effleurage. I'm not putting force on at the spine, but as I cross over and I hit that erector spinae muscle, I start to put a little bit more into that. I'm easing off as I get to the neck, just to sweep back down with a little bit of force down the lat, lower fibres of trapezius. Okay, and then from that I'm then going to step up and do a little bit around the scapular region. But in fact, no, I'm not. I'm actually going to need the other side. I'm actually going to need the other side. You can do a little bit of work there now, but that's going to come up in a minute anyway. Alright, so you could do that. But I'm just literally going to go into this nice kneading, so we're going to knead all the neck. So I'm working on the opposite side only now. Kneading all the neck. Come down, I'll even knead out into the shoulders. Right down into the lat. I'm going to try and come on top, and I'm still trying, if you can see, to get into the musculature on the back. So I've got a nice knead going on there, so it'll knead the whole lot. Yeah, I'm not just going to kind of go around once, because this is a real warming up exercise, breaking the tissues down a little bit. So we're really trying to get into it all. And then once I've finished kneading, now I'm going to hit into, according to your sheet, a bit of finger frictions. You could have done this before the kneading because it's specifically around there, but it is nice just to loosen them up a little bit. So this is starting off a little bit light to start with, so I'm getting into infraspinatus, out onto teres minor, teres major a little bit, coming round over the top of the spine and scapula, into supraspinatus a little bit, back into infraspinatus. Alright, there's a nice little bit of tightness in there for you in a minute. Okay, so I'm just building it up a little bit with pressure as well. So I can do minute little circles in there, applying a little bit of force there. Bring it out, make it a little bit bigger. Okay, that's great stuff. And from there now I'm just simply going to go into a nice alternating thumb across erector spinae. So we're pushing into it a little bit, working across the fibres, just coming down to that thoracic 10, 11, 12 region. Going to bring that back up. And then this is the point I'm going to change sides now. I'm going to come round to this side of the body and work from there. Okay. So now we're going to look at, specifically still working erector spinae, I'm going to go into these finger pulls across. So I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up, and it's a nice kind of hook grip. It's got the spine, my fingers are just inside the spine to the outside of the body, hooking over it, and I'm keeping that nice strong position, and I'm just pulling across the fibres. Really pulling away at them. So we're trying to break the fibres up a little bit. I'm going to come all the way up till I roughly get to the top of the scapula at that point. I come back, do them again. That's it. At which point I'm going to change again. I'm going to change my stance to an asymmetrical stance. And I'm now doing a nice thumb roll up the rectus spinae now. So I'm trying to feel the tissue, look at the tissue with my hands as I'm coming up. I'm going to come all the way up, but I've eased off the pressure at the neck. going to come down again. I'm going to come out a little bit wider this time, running up there, and I'm using the body weight here onto it. So I've got a nice little bit of tightness on the lower trapezius there as well. Ease the pressure off again, just as I roll up to the base of the skull.
Okay.
Okay. From there, we're going to go into another cross fibre work. So this is a little bit of pressure, transverse thumbs going right across the muscle. As I bring it up, I'm just easing off again at that neck bit. So we're trying to get this twisting of the tissues. Yeah, the tissues will actually twist in me between my thumbs. Obviously, I'm just trying to show you on the skin there,
okay.
But that's actually happening with the fibres because I'm putting pressure on as I come up it again. So now we're going to do a reinforced thumb, sweeping from out to in. So from there, my hand's the pivot point, so I'm now pivoting just to the side of the spine. I'm into that position, I'm pivoting on where my saddle joint is. Okay. From there, pressure on the hand, and it's going to sweep it round, move it up a little bit, sweep it round, move it up, sweep it round, getting into those fibres, easing a bit of pressure off there. Come back down, do it again. Down. This is where you can link other moves in where it's not compulsory to do that, because I can also do it the opposite way. I can sweep in and out as well. Okay. Again, I might go back to just running my thumbs up, feeling what the tissue's like. It's not on your sheet, but you know, there's nothing stopping you at that point doing that. Okay. If I find anything in there, I might need to do a little bit of specific thumb friction. So I've got a tight area. I might do a little bit of thumb friction in there, work into it. Try and loosen it down a little bit. Roll the thumbs again, transverse thumbs again.
Okay.
Yeah. Might even go back to the out to in to work the tissues. Come back to it, feel it again. It might still be there, so I'll friction it again. Bit of friction on it. Try and loosen it down. Roll those thumbs, transverse thumbs. So I'm going to go through that little pattern a few times. Alright. From there, what we're going to do, we're going to change this now. So we've been working erector spinae. I'm going to specifically come to my trapezius now. So I'm just going to literally, nice palm of the hand out to start with, and then I'm going to go into some rolling thumbs following the fibres of trapezius. So remember, trapezius cutting up there, and then we're cutting out and across. Right, so we're following those fibres, nice rolling thumbs, and then out from the insertion point towards the origin, working the neck, and again trapezius comes all the way up the base of the skull, so I'm going to come up the neck with it as well, come back, give it another little run over. Okay, and at this point what we're going to do is actually bend our client's arm up the back now. There for you. Okay, so we're going to bring he knows the drill, hands come up the back, see a bit of the scapula now protruding up. Okay, so what we're going to do is now we're going to get under it and have a little bit of friction to the underneath edge of the scapula, so we're trying to get onto our insertion point of serratus anterior. Yeah, it's insertion point of the rhomboid as well, onto the edge of it. So that's what we're working. We'll try and come all the way up to the superior angle from the inferior angle. So we're doing the medial border. Okay, then from there I'm going to get hold of the scapula now. This is what they call a scapular lift, so I'm going to pull the scapula away, so we're stretching out our rhomboids and elements of our trapezius as well. Okay, and then I'm going to literally work my rhomboids now nice and deeply. So I've got them in an elongated position, and I'm really working into them. deep action work there. I can relax that off if I want and really get both thumbs going into it. Again, I might find something specific there, so I might friction it. Might even think, okay, my fibres are running that way. Cross fibre work. Well, no, because you can put that into it. Yeah, rework them again. Feel what the tissue feels like underneath. And from there, I'm going to straighten the arm down the body. So we're trying to drop this scapula down a little bit, and then we're going to do these deep thumbs down at levator scapula. Alright, so I'm elevating his arm down. Now this is where you can come up. So we're looking for levator scapula, base of the skull, coming down the spine and onto that superior angle of the scapula. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is lengthen it out now by bringing his arm down and pinning it there. So you can come up it, nice deep thumb up it. Okay, but you can also do it coming down it. Square that back up. Okay, so I can pin him there and then I can come down it as well. So I can come all the way down. Okay, so I'll stay working up it. So we're into that position. So I'm working all the way up. A nice deep thumb. Again, if I find any issues in that, I can come in, I can friction it, do a bit of friction work on it. Again, I've got to be careful in this region because obviously we've got jugular veins and things running up and down here. So I don't want to be putting much pressure on there, but I can still get a transverse action if I need to, and then work it back out again and get those deep runs into it again. Okay, so at this point you can then release the arm, and we're going to do a bit of a big stretching out exercise of levator scapula, trapezius. So what I'm looking to do now is get a hand over, and I'm really pulling down those fibres. I keep the pressure on, put another hand back, come back again, really pull down them. Okay, using my body weight, let my body weight pull me back. Okay, so I'm trying to keep that on and pull right down. I can come into it a little bit, make sure I get right down that levator scapula. But I'm trying to then come from off the neck there and down. Okay, and then after that little bit, nice, might just rewarm that erector spinae up a little bit, because now we're going to put a nice elbow up it. Yep. Okay, so again I'm going to instruct my client. Usual protocol, hand for guidance, as you can see a nice chunk of erector spinae there. Hand for guidance, elbow in, drop the arm down so you take the very bony bit of the elbow out of it. Instruct your client to take a nice big breath in. So a nice big breath in, Lewis. And then as he breathes out, I'm just going to drive elbow up it. Obviously not right onto the neck. So we're stopping once we're really past that superior angle of the scapula. I might just come out just a little bit further, get him to do it again. And as he breathes out, come up that. Bit of force. Don't need to, I can use fist as well. Nice little bit of clicking going on the spine. So as things are loosening down.
Do the client breathe in if they're doing?
You could get him to breathe in on that as well, yeah. Yeah, but I can literally do that. I can come in as well, get me forearms into that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what I'd then do is I'd now start working the opposite side. So I'd go back to kneading this side, fingers, circles, etc, etc, and work my way back to that. If you can imagine, we've done all that. Our last little bit again is that finish. So from there, the client can put his arm back where it's comfy. I'm going to come all the way down the spine to those sacral holes, a little bit of friction in them, pull back out and round. Back down, sacral holes, pull back round. And that's the upper back. Okay.